linen and seersucker. Seersucker and linen. And one of the great things about linen that I have loved for the past, as I try to fix the collar, just it's great. And this was on a hanger too. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little better. I didn't want it to be too loose, at least not yet. Of course, I have been a real proponent of linen probably my adult life, and it really came into its own as one of my favorites. Of course, when I was stationed at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, but when I started making sure I had linen, generally long sleeve as daily wear, was living as an expat in Rome, where I was working as a tour guide for those years. And here we go with the jacket. There we go. I managed to get it on across my shoulders without, because of course, clothes that you have made for you, which this jacket is, sometimes have to be altered with you as time goes by. This was made for me by an excellent seamstress, which is why, you can tell, I was a little bit less of myself at that time. All right, when this was made, but it's still lovely. Yes. So very good. Although I'm gonna be calling out now that I've got it. All right, so now here we go. Here's a look. Linen wrinkles naturally, but doesn't, especially if you're wearing a shade of the linen shirt that is complementary to your complexion and what you're wearing, those wrinkles don't seem to detract, but it's all situational. There's people that are absolutely offended by the fact that linen kind of wrinkles up, stays wrinkles, and it's kind of doing its own thing. I find that particularly charming, and for me it's a plus. Plus the wrinkles, again, add to the volume of space between it and the skin, and that helps the transfer of heat. And I have to preface all this with saying my standards for warm weather clothing are based on the condition that you're outside at least half the time, half the day. You're walking from museum to museum. If you're in DC at the National Mall, you're visiting any downtown area, and you're going from restaurant to restaurant, whatever. You're traveling, but you're doing it mostly on foot or public transportation, and it is capital H hot, which if you're in the Western Hemisphere, you're on the top of the planet, the Northern Hemisphere, the top of the planet above the equator, you're most likely going through an extreme summer for 2026. And you know, the weight of the fabric of the clothing that you're wearing is a big factor. And for me, it's linen, seersucker linen, and that's why I have broken out this suit. Probably not today, probably not tomorrow, probably Friday. I will actually attempt to wear this thing out in public, because even though these are two separates, this is a little bit darker pants than that. It's seersucker, it's not gonna come across as anything. This looks pretty sharp put together. That's another great thing about seersucker. Since it's, you can't tell unless you really look that these aren't actually, one long suit. You can just sort of grab it and go and be very, very, very comfortable, presentable, and I am just loving how this hangs and fits. And even though, again, this is something that was made for me 5-6 years ago, so it doesn't quite have the same, I would need this modified, or even contact them and have them do another one. Because when you're doing this, the whole suit, it's not bad. Yeah, it's kind of, one of the things you don't want to see is when you lift your arms like this, you don't necessarily want, because you see it's not even structured. You don't want this leaping up. You want the whole suit to move as a unit, which is kind of happening here. What's interesting is that I insist that there not really be a whole lot of padding and structure in it. And that's why when you see me review other suits that I bought or I'm wearing or whatever, I'm so complaining about the amount of padding in the shoulder, you know. And that's neither here nor there. I know, depending on your body type, you might need it. If you're a thinner gentleman or not as whatever, the suit has to complement your body type first and foremost, and then the suit has to take what are sort of what you would feel weaknesses in your body type, like if you're too whatever, it's got to sort of help you hide those, detract from your weaknesses, add to your strengths, yet fit your personality and the event that you are attending. And I have had fantastic success with these linen jackets, and I love them to death. And in fact, I just reminded myself that there is one for sale at one of the shopping malls that is actually a great fair price. I might go grab that. Yeah, this is a video that I am solely going to share on my social media and then put on the blog because, of course, in addition to the linen and the seersucker sort of thing, I'm not quite ready to offer a seersucker set of outer garments to, you know, jackets like this on my brand. I still want to focus on denim, albeit very breathable, light denim, somewhat like this, which would appear to be a Western chambray shirt. And chambray and denim, I have really sort of focused on that to quite the extent the last 3 or 4 months because I've had a lot of success. It's allowed me to sort of express an artistic design passion and upcycle. The abundance of denim, especially in the jeans area, whether it's high-end selvage or just your standard sort of pumped up cotton denim elastic mix, there's an abundance of denim that just gets discarded. And I'm becoming more and more of a fan of taking denim and chambray, mostly men's clothing, but of course this is a bigger thing with females right now and liberals and progressive-minded people, finding those pieces and just throwing them back together to a certain level of quality and getting them back out there. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with my whole brand. I am going to sort of really focus on taking all sorts of denim and that's been discarded or second and third hand and chopping it up and repurposing it and putting my stink on it. And I think that's a lot more efficient way to sort of get something going off the ground. So that is, I hope you watch this whole video, actually the purpose of why I'm sharing this, even though I'm also talking about denim and talking about linen and seersucker and denim. So I'm going to end the video now, which is remarkable that it is this short. And of course I'll have a link to this on my blog where I'm going to go more into detail of the different pieces that I have, like this heavy thing, and this is a work in progress, and it's beautiful selvage denim. It is selvage, and it's awesome. There we go. We got the selvage, self-edged. It's something that I'm upcycling into my own thing. 16.5 ounces, and it is very heavy, very durable. But look at how stiff this is. You know, it's almost like that's how stiff it is. It's not even, which is wonderful under certain circumstances, and it's quite the palette for me to be creative, but at the same time, it should be this thing, waxed and painted denim. Oh boy, is this an adventure. I'm not even going to push this on you. This is an artistic endeavor because it's got my old military rank on it. An artistic endeavor. This is never a dull moment with the denim. And probably in a year or two, I'll get into seersucker and linen and linen and seersucker and seersucker and linen. Repeat that to yourself. while you're going to the blog and looking at the denim I'm going to start for sale. All right, everybody. Au revoir.